Everyone who has ever stood over a grill has heard the same rule. Do not press your burger. You will squeeze out the juices, dry out the meat, and ruin everything. Your father said it. Every cooking show said it. Every backyard cook within earshot has repeated it like gospel. But here is something that might surprise you. Pressing a burger flat is the single technique that makes it taste better. And food science has proven exactly why. That old advice is not wrong about the action. It is wrong about the timing. A 10-pound bean can, an unnamed cook in Kentucky, and a chemical reaction you experience every day but have never heard of. That is where this starts. 1920s, El Reno, Oklahoma. A man named Ross Davis runs a small diner called the Hamburger Inn on Route 66. The Depression is settling in. The Dust Bowl is killing cattle supply, and ground beef is a luxury his customers cannot afford. Davis does something desperate. He mixes cheap yellow onions into the meat to stretch it, rolls it into balls, and smashes them flat on the griddle. 5 cents a burger. People line up. Down the road, Robert's Grill starts doing the same thing in 1926 and never stops. Still open today. Still smashing. Then something else happened. 1960s, Ashland, Kentucky. Bill Culvertson owns a Dairy Queen franchise. He wants to sell burgers. Corporate says no. Culvertson drops the franchise, renames his place Dairy Cheer, and starts serving burgers his way. One day, an unnamed cook picks up a number 10 bean can, the big institutional kind, and smashes a ball of beef flat against the griddle. Culvertson tastes it. The crust is deeper. The flavor is bigger. He builds his entire business around that technique. Both men knew the smashed version tasted better. Neither could explain why. It would take decades of food science to identify what was happening on that griddle. The science caught up, and the answer starts the moment meat hits metal. 80-20 ground chuck. You want the fat? Roll it into a loose ball, 60 to 115 grams. Do not pack it tight. Do not shape it into a disc. Leave it rough. Leave air inside. Heat your griddle or cast iron past 200 degrees Celsius, about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. You should hear an aggressive sizzle the instant meat touches metal. If you do not hear it, the surface is not hot enough. Place the ball down. Press hard, immediately with a flat tool, a press, a spatula, the bottom of a pan. Flatten to under 1 centimeter. Press once, only once. Do not press again. That is the line between juicy and dry, and we will get to why. Now wait. 45 to 90 seconds. Do not touch it. During those seconds, something is happening on the surface that you cannot see, but you can smell from across the room. A chemical reaction called the Maillard reaction. Amino acids in the meat reducing sugars. They bond, rearrange, and generate hundreds of new compounds called melanoidins. These are the source of the deep brown crust, the intense umami, and that explosion of aroma. Between 70 and 90% of what you call flavor comes from your nose, not your tongue. The Maillard reaction feeds your nose hundreds of volatile compounds in every breath. That is why a smash burger made from the same beef as a thick pub burger tastes fundamentally different. And the reason is surface area. A thick burger is a closed book. Only the covers get sunlight. A smash burger is an open book. Every page tans. More surface, more Maillard, more flavor, same meat. Watch the edges. When golden brown lace forms around the rim, flip. Lay American cheese on top immediately. Residual heat melts it. Second side, 30 to 45 seconds. Stack 2 or 3 patties on a buttered, toasted bun. That is it. Now the myth. People say pressing squeezes out fat and dries the burger. On a grill with open grates, true, fat drips through and is gone. But on a flat surface, rendered fat has nowhere to go. It pools around the edges, essentially confits the rim, creating that crispy lace while the interior stays moist. The golden rule: press once while the meat is raw. Press again after protein set, and you squeeze out moisture for real. The old advice is correct about the action. Wrong about the moment. Total cook time, 90 to 180 seconds. A thick steakhouse burger needs 10 minutes. A smash burger is done before you finish changing the song. In 2007, Tom Ryan opened Smashburger in Denver. Ryan holds a doctorate in flavor technology and lipid science. He developed stuffed crust pizza for Pizza Hut and served as chief concept officer at McDonald's. For Smashburger, he blind tested 300 varieties of beef, including Wagyu and Kobe. The 4 finalists were all Angus from different distributors. The most expensive did not win. Flavor consistency did. His secret? Smashburger patties contain triple-rendered chicken skin blended into the beef. Extra fat and collagen create a crispier sear and deeper flavor. Most customers have no idea they are eating chicken in their beef burger. On the opposite end, Supernova in London sells exactly 2 items, a cheeseburger and a double cheeseburger. Nothing else. That extreme minimalism went viral. 3 London locations and 1 in Bahrain within 2 years. Here is where the story flips. The Smashburger was born from poverty. Ross Davis could not afford enough beef for a full patty, so he cut it with onions and pressed it thin to feed people for 5 cents during the Depression. Survival food for families who had nothing. Nearly a century later, an upgraded version sells for $15 and up in Mayfair, London. In 2015, the trend was excess, burgers stacked tall, barely held together. By 2025, people started chasing the most perfect version of the simplest thing. A thinner patty became a symbol of restraint. In economic uncertainty, people returned to basic comfort food, but they want it perfected. The same instinct that drove Davis 100 years ago drives the line outside Supernova today. Next time you cook a burger at home, try this. Take 80-20 ground chuck. Roll a loose ball, do not pack it. Get your cast iron screaming hot. Drop the ball, press it flat once with everything you have the instant it hits the surface. Wait 90 seconds. Flip, cheese on immediately. 30 more seconds. Pull it. You will not go back to thick patties. One honest caveat. A smash burger is not the right choice for every situation. If you want a medium rare center with a pink, juicy interior, you need a thick burger. A smash burger is always well done because it is too thin to hold a gradient. That is not a flaw. That is the design. The flavor comes from the crust, not the doneness. Back to the thesis. The reason the advice to never press a burger has survived for decades is because it is half right. Right about the action, wrong about the timing. An entire generation of backyard cooks passed along the correct half and forgot the other. Sometimes the thing you were taught to avoid is the exact thing that produces the best result, if you know when. A bean can. A hot griddle, 90 seconds. A 5-cent meal from the Depression, perfected by a century of cooks who trusted what they tasted. That is all it takes. That is the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there is something you would like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.